In this basic Joomla tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a blog or a category grouping of articles. A blog is really just short for the term weblog, or it's like an online diary, but it doesn't have to be a diary or something that you're writing. It could be a series of articles on a topic, or dividing the content that you're putting on your website. And in this tutorial, I'll show you 3 steps for creating a unique area for themed content on your site. So here we are at the basic Joomla site. I've already logged into the back end of the site. The first thing that we want to do is create a category, because we're going to assign our articles to that category. And to do that, we're going to go to Content, drop down, go to Category Manager, and we're going to go to Add New Category. Now before I click there, I'll also show you down the left hand side, we could just click right on the Category Manager right there. But we already have this menu open, so we'll add a new category. Because this is a very basic install of Joomla, there really aren't many categories at all. So we're just going to create one and give it a name. I'm just going to call it Dogs, because it'll be easier to break down some taxonomy later on in this as I develop more tutorials. So the title of this category is Dogs, and we can put a description of this category. So I'm just going to put, here is a sample category for dog articles. Alright, we'll just leave that there. You'll notice this is just like the editing window for articles, so you could spiff this description up with pictures and images, but I want to keep this very simple right now, so let's just leave it at that. We're going to leave this as a top level category, because you can have subcategories and subcategories, and I'll show you that later on. But we're just going to create this category now, and we're going to save and close it. Now that we have that dog category, you'll see we have uncategorized. This category here is for a tool that's installed on Joomla that I use for search engine friendly URLs. I'll do another tutorial on that. But here's our new category, Dogs. So we're all ready. We can assign some content to that. Well, let's make a page. So with that, we would go up to Content, Article Manager, and we could go to Add New Article. Or we could actually just go to Article Manager, and we'll be presented with a bunch of links, and we could click New here. There's a couple of ways to skin the cat on this on Joomla. Now here we are. We just need a title for our article. So I'm going to call this Sample Dog Article. And alias we don't worry about, we'll let the system generate that, but we need to have some content for people to read. And just off screen here, I've created some sample text. I'm going to copy it and from the one window that you can't see, and then I'm going to go Control V and paste it. And here it is. This article is all about cats. It's a sample article, blah 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 blah, and it repeats over and over again. So we'll just keep this very basic. And this is now an article, sample dog article, and there's the text that we've got. So let's save and close that article, sample dog article. Now, right now, we will see it's right there, sample dog article. But one thing I didn't do is assign it to a category. So let's go back in there and edit it. I could have done this in the first step, but I forgot to. Over here, under the Content tab, is this category drop down. When we click the drop down, there's the Dogs category that we created. Click that. Now we can save and close that. And you'll see now sample dog article, and it's assigned to the category Dogs. That's great. Now we've got our category. Now we have our content. But here's the question: how do we find it on this website? Where do we click to see that? Even when I refresh this page, it's nowhere, because there is no menu that leads us to that category or directly to that article. And so next step is to create a menu that people can click on, and that will bring up the content that we've added. So to do that, let's go to the back end of the site again. We'll go to menus. We only have one menu right now on the site. It's called main menu. I know that not only from knowing the site, but I've got the title showing of the menu there. So let's just stick with this one menu. Menus, main menu. We could go to add new item, but I'm just going to click main menu. And you'll see that there is one item on this menu, home. And the type of menu that it is articles and featured articles. This link is set so that when it shows up on the menu, someone who clicks on it is going to see all of the articles that are assigned to appear on the front page. But that's not really our topic right now. But there's that home menu, and when you click home, it shows what's supposed to be on the front page. So let's create a new menu item on this home menu. So there's our new button. We click new. Now what do we want to show, what do we want to happen on the page when someone clicks this menu? Well, we want them to see articles about dogs. So let's give this menu a title called dogs, and we'll just leave it at that. Now what type of menu? Well, item type? Well, if we click select, we're given a number of options for linking to all manners of things that are on the Joomla site. But right now we're just focusing on the articles and linking to them. And so we would click articles. Now there's a number of ways that articles can be displayed. For instance, an archived article or category blog. And when we mouse over that, we'll see a description says that it displays article introductions in a single or multi-column layout. Or we might want to create a category list. So that's going to display a list of articles in a category. So I'm going to make a couple of these here right now. And let's go with category blog. When I click category blog, the menu type is filled in. It says choose a category. So when someone clicks on the dogs link, it's going to open up a category, and here I have to tell it which category. And that's simple. We've just made dogs, so we tell it, yes, open the dogs category. When they click on it, what's the target window? Do we want it to open up a new window or a new tab, or to just the same window as the page that we're clicking on? And there's a lot of other things here, but basically let's just save this menu link called dogs. That's a category blog. And we're going to, in fact, I'm just going to save this. And now we'll click on the tab for the home page. And I'm going to go refresh. And you'll see now in our main menu, we have the home link and the dogs link. And we've already told it that when someone clicks on dogs, we want to see all the articles that are assigned to the dogs category. So let's do that. Let's click on dogs. And there we go. We clicked on dogs, and it's now showing all of the articles that are in the dog category. And oh, you know what? I have cats in my sample. That's a mistake. Let me just fix that. I'll pause. And now as I restart the video, the article is about dogs. So what we have here is we've created a link to show all articles in the category of dogs. Now let's just quickly make another article about dogs. So we go new, first of all, content, article manager. We're already there, but I'll click on it. We'll click new, and we'll call this another sample dog article. Well, typing's not very good tonight. And we're going to assign it to the dogs category. And this is a much shorter article. Example. And I'm just going to leave a space. I'm going to go Control A, Control C to copy everything, and then I'm just going to hit Control V over and over and over again. just to make something that will show up on the other side. And maybe I'll click up here and I'll put a enter, make a couple of paragraphs. And now I'm going to save this, save it, but we'll leave it open. Now when we go back to this category, which is this category blog that shows dog articles, and refresh, we now have this first article, this second article that I've just made, another sample dog article, and here's the original sample dog article. Now you'll notice it's broken down now. It's a narrow column. That's because in the link it is set up to display one article across as a main article and then to break into some other columns underneath. And I'll just show you how to change that right now. Let's close this article. Go back to menus, to the main menu, and let's click on our dogs article, our dogs category. Now we have selected this link to be a category blog layout. So let's click on this blog layout tab, and you'll see that there is no number of leading articles or intro articles inserted. So it's running off the default for the site. So let's right now say for the number of leading articles, and we read the description there, the ones that will be shown as full width at the beginning of the page, let's say we want 3 to be shown as full width. And then after 3 articles are shown in full width, then how many do we want to be shown in columns? And by mousing over, we can just read that option. And we'll say, well, we want to see 2 in columns. So we'll have 3 across at the top and 2 side by side. And how many columns do we want at the bottom? 1, 2, or 3. We're going to say 2 columns. All right. And that's going to solve our problem right there. There's lots of other options here, but I don't want to overload this tutorial with information. But when I save this menu, and we're working on a very basic site right now, there are some cases where there's extra steps when you save a menu in order for the changes to take, but this will work. Now when I go refresh of that page, now we have another sample dog article at the top and sample dog article underneath. And those are very tall, but we'll just leave it at that. But now let's just take a look at another kind of menu, another way to display these articles. We saw that, and I'm clicking back on details, in this menu we pick category blog. Now let's select under the articles type for the menu, that's instead of it being a category blog, let's do a category list. And once that refreshes in, we'll see we'll still leave it named dogs. The menu type, category list. Which category? Well, dog articles. And we're just going to leave it at that for now. I'll save this menu item, but it will still remain open when we come back. Now I'm going to refresh this page. And actually, because my browser is caching this page, I'm going to try this refresh button, or Control and Shift and R to force the page to reload, and that didn't work. So now, oh, that's because up here we have some coding in this link. Let's just click on this menu here. The page has been refreshed. There we go. So now here we have this category, we have the dogs articles being shown just with the title, who has written it, and the number of hits that they've received. And there's other options that we can change in the menu. But what we have accomplished here is that we've created a category, we've created some content for it, it's grouped under that category, and we've created a menu link so that when someone clicks on it, the articles are displayed in the format that we want. And now all we have to do is just keep adding articles about dogs, and we will see we will see links to those articles, or the display of them depending on which type of link you pick, appearing under this menu. There's so much more to talk about this, but I think I'm going to wrap it up at that, and you can practice or work on your own site for creating an area to put a blog or group some articles. And enjoy working on your site. God bless.